Today in the gospel we see the anger of Jesus. There's not many times when we see him get angry, but this is one of them. The gospel says he was grieved at their hardness of heart. Unlike us, Jesus' anger is completely righteous. It's holy, good, necessary. We oftentimes get angry at trivial things. We get angry when someone offends us or says something we don't like. We can get angry at so many things. And hopefully some of the reasons we get angry are good. But Jesus, being the Son of God, his anger was completely righteous. Not only was he angry, but he had sorrow in his heart. He was grieved. Again, why? Because of the hardness of heart of the Pharisees. It's interesting how Jesus cures the man. He says, "Stretch out your hand." The man stretched it out, and his hand was restored. And right after that, the Pharisee's heart does not soften. It says they went out and immediately took counsel to put him to death. There they are, in front of the truth, in front of love, and all they can think about is how to put him to death. Each and every one of us, as we grow in age, we become more and more set in our ways. Each one of us has areas in our hearts, whether we recognize it or not, that have become hardened. Maybe it's hardness of heart in some kind of sin or vice or some habit that's unhealthy we don't even think about anymore, that we don't even doubt our actions. But also there can be hardness of heart in our minds, in our beliefs. We can have convictions that are good and holy, but we also can have convictions of things that are not from God. Ways of thinking that maybe we've been entrenched into for years. And we too have that hardness of heart, that stubbornness, where we believe that our way is the right way. And we lose that docility to the Holy Spirit. We lose that flexibility, not only with God, not only with our conscience, but with each other. You think about husbands and wives, how many fights they have, how many times they bicker because of this hardness of heart. Brothers and sisters, we need to allow the Holy Spirit into those places and maybe not change our convictions, but at least consider them. Is this from God? Is this way of thinking from God? Because oftentimes we'll find that it's not. And the Holy Spirit and God is trying to change our way of thinking, our way of seeing things. And we have to be open to that. You know, one of the only times Jesus gets angry is because of this. It's not necessarily sin, but it's the hardness of heart, because that is even more damaging than a fall. Because it's a way of life, it's a way of thinking, it's a way of being. And that perpetuates the damage done by sin. So in this Mass, we offer Jesus our own hearts and all those areas in our hearts that may have become hardened over time, maybe in ways we don't even recognize. But we offer our hearts to Jesus and we ask for his grace to soften our hearts.